Hi, it's Paula Pasquale here, and I'm very lucky to have the Cadence Handy Lacquered paint both in the black and the white. Now, they are paints that I have tested a little bit with the white on a little tiny little glass pot that I had, and it was just a test, so of course there's some dribbles, but I did them intentionally with the white. And here I have got two other bottles that I want to use the lacquered paints with. Now, as you can see, it has dried really glossy, it has dried really so even, except for the dribbles that I wanted. And I know that I can even use natural branches with it, so we are gonna try to, well, I'm gonna try to use a few of these items. For instance, here I have this glass bottle, which is a gin bottle, yeah, and I'm gonna let it, maybe I'm not decided yet, but I do know that I want to have this pot, which is a home fragrance pot that is empty, as an ink well. You can see that I have tested the white as well in the you can see that the background with the natural fibers. Now, what the first thing you need to do is to get maybe a spatula or something like that. And because I wanted to have the effect of an inkwell, I just go with the spatula rather than dip it in to kind of have that dribble. Now, experiment. You can use brushes if you wanted to. You can drop if it's small enough to go into the pot, or you could actually dribble the paint directly onto it. But with this spatula, gave me a lot of control, and yet enough ink or paint, it would grab enough paint to have those dribbles effects. Remember, I didn't want to have a full coverage. I wanted some of that beautiful copper that had the glass bottle to be shown, and still I just wanted to cover some of those elements in there. So if you wanted to you have that control, that ability to do both. You can see that the white is drying up, and so there's a little bit of the white droplets as well, because many of times I like to do things at the same time, so I do several projects at once. And you can see in here as well that I'm going back and back, and this is one of the beautiful things about lacquer paint that I found, that you could go in and out and add more and more, and it would blend perfectly. And I also wanted the driblets at the bottom to create that effects and to dry like that, and they dry perfectly, absolutely perfectly. So if you didn't want them, you put them over a rack, and then of course that would be much neater effect at the bottom of it. So this is how I'm gonna leave it to dry, and of course using the Handy Lacquer paint from Cadence. Let's see how it kind of frozen. So I covered basically all the lettering. I'm gonna let it kind of as if the ink was falling from the center. Let's see how it dries. So I'm thinking that with Cadence Handy Lacquer paint, I can repurpose these. Let me see if I can find it. These beautiful flowers that they have been seen better days. You can see that the glue that was kind of in there here has seeped through, so it doesn't look that good. So let's see how I can transform. And I dip them in and let them go. And this is the finished result, how it has dried. I absolutely adore the wet ink sort of effect and the dribble at the bottom of it. I think the branches look really well as well. So over paper, glossy surfaces, and the natural fibers, the lacquer paint, the handy paint from Cadence is absolutely amazing.